Alright, this week I'm going to cook shrimp and grits. This recipe comes from a guy I used to work with in Charleston, South Carolina, Sean Brock. Basic recipe, very traditional, low country cuisine. I'm going to go off the reservation a little bit, add a couple flavors that I think I would like in that dish. Recipe is just a guideline. So what we have here is we're going to start with some coarse ground cornmeal right there. You want to get a coarse grind for the grits. And make them have some texture. White cornmeal will do well too, but it's got to be coarse grind. We're going to cook that in a pot slowly with some water and some bay leaves and a little bit of lemon juice for probably an hour or until it's just the right consistency. I like it in between, porridgey and then really tight. And then for the shrimp part of it, I've got some shrimp here that I've deveined and headed and shelled. I left a few heads on a few of the shrimp just for presentation, and these are all the shrimp shells over here. We're going to use that to make a stock to be the base of our shrimp and grits. Once we have the stock made, we're going to add everything else. Put together the gravy that is shrimp and grits. We have some bacon here, some smoked bacon. We're going to add shallots. I have some purple garlic here, which is great. Cremini mushrooms, a little bit of bell pepper. We're going to fire roast these jalapenos and fold them in last. That's kind of my play on, or the only part I stray from this recipe on. First thing anyways we're going to start with is making the stock. I have some lard that I apparently just have kicking around during coronavirus. It's not really laying around much. And then when that's nice and hot, this pan's smoking, I'm going to add these shrimp shells and heads to them. Alright, you can hear that sizzling, a lot of water. These are going to cook so they're pink and translucent. Probably going to take about 5 minutes. Alright, so my shrimp shells and heads are nice and toasty. I got to add in my whole tomatoes here. I have some tomato paste, about 2 tablespoons. That's about 2 cups of tomatoes. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm going to give that a real good stir. You want that tomato paste to start caramelizing a little bit. So everything's mixed up real good. Over here, I have 2 quarts of shrimp stock. You can substitute this with vegetable stock. I just happen to have this lying around, so I'm going to add that in and let this cook for about an hour and a half, or reduced down by half. Okay, so I have the shrimp stock rolling away. It's been going for about 45 minutes. It's got another about 45 to go. So we're going to get started on the grits. I have some water boiling right here. I have 4 cups of water. I'm going to add 2 cups of these stone ground grits. The thing here is you want to add them gradually into the boiling water, so as they boil in, they start to break down a little bit more. Okay, I've got them in. I'm going to let them come back right up to a boil again. I see them boiling. I'm going to add a little bit more in. Okay. Add the rest of it. 1 more cup to go. So now I got half of it in there. It's going to really start thickening up a little bit. So I have this other cup. I'm going to add even more gradually. Raging right now. Start it like that. And I'm going to continue to add slowly, probably for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Grits are all tightened up, nicely emulsified. A little simmer. We're going to add some bay leaves to these. I'm going to crumble them up by hand so they give off all the oils for these guys. Alright, whisk them in. Alright, now I'm going to cover this and put it on the back burner for 45 minutes. While this is cooking over here, I'm going to turn the heat up all the way. And I'm going to start roasting these jalapeno peppers over here that I have. Okay. Set those right on the flame. Alright, they're going to stay on here for about 5 minutes. I'm going to flip them constantly to get them all black. And once they're charred, we're going to skin them and chop them up, and we're ready to add those to the gravy. So the grits been cooking for about 25 minutes now. They probably have another 10 more minutes. Still have my shrimp stock going over here. That probably has another 20 minutes on it. It's been going for just about an hour. And I'm pulling these fire roasted jalapenos off the flame right now from the bowl here. Nice and charred on the outside. Alright, we want to cover those in this bowl. Let them rest for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to peel the skins right off them. Alright, peppers are sat, rested. They're ready to be skinned. I skinned a bunch of them, so I have just one last one to go. Alright, I'm going to remove the seeds. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of the skin. Alright, get that nice char flavor on there. And give a little cut here. And add them to the rest. And we'll be ready to use for a little bit later. Alright, the grits are about the consistency where we need them. You're ready to add the butter in and a little salt at this point. So, in about 45 minutes. So I'm going to add some butter. I like to add the nice Irish Kerrygold. Alright, fold that in. Kind of looking for it to emulsify a little bit. It's almost melted. Okay. A little salt. Alright, so our butter is in really nice. I'm just going to add one more on the top like that. And these grits are going to hold for the next 20-25 minutes. They'll be fine until the shrimp stock is reduced and we're ready to cook our shrimp. Stock has been reduced down for about an hour and a half. It's all set. I strained it. Now we're going to start the components of the gravy. So I have some more of the lard. Okay, we're going to throw a tablespoon of that in there. A little bit more. Okay. Next thing to go in is going to be the bacon that we chopped up earlier. So that starts to render a little bit. Going to hit it with the bacon. Alright, we're going to let this render down about 3/4 of the way to strain some of the fat off. So while the bacon's rendering, I'm going to cut up a few of the vegetables. I'm working on the shallots right now, so I have some of the shallots cut over here. I'm going to just finish the job over here. Okay. Make these a dice. Okay. I'm going to add this to the mix, and then I'm going to work on the garlic and the peppers. Alright, the bacon's nice and rendered, so it's time to start adding in some of the vegetables. The first vegetable we're going to put in is the shallot, which we chopped up earlier. Let that start to cook a little bit. While that cooks, we're going to finish up cooking the green pepper over here. Some chop. I'm going to finish the last one. Okay. Alright. Alright, that's going to go in. Let that cook a second, and then we're going to add in the garlic and the mushrooms. So the bacon and the green peppers, shallots, that's all cooked down, ready to go. I need to add the garlic in next. So I'm going to finish up. I want slices of garlic, so you get little bit bites, you know, kind of in every bite. It's okay to have a slice of garlic. So we're going to just make these nice and thin slices. Alright, get those all sliced up. They're going to go get mixed in. Okay, it's all set. We're going to mix the mushrooms in at the same time. Mushrooms are pretty much going to poach. That's the cooking method for the mushrooms and the shrimp. Mix that all up in there. Let that go for a little bit before we add the shrimp stock and the shrimp, and then finish the dish. So we have everything mixed in. Mix in the mushrooms. Garlic's cooked out a little bit. Okay, we're going to add some of our shrimp broth just to cover everything. Alright. May add more later. We're going to add our roasted jalapeno peppers. Okay. Not even paying attention to how many I put in there. I hope it's not too spicy. And then we're going to add our shrimp. Our head-on shrimp. We're going to just kind of place there. And these guys are going to poach, so kind of want a little space for everything. Alright, I'm going to keep doing this, spread them out, hope they don't touch, and cook them for another 5-10 minutes, trying desperately not to overcook them. Our grits are all set. I'm going to squeeze a little lemon on there. Okay, I'm also going to squeeze a little lemon into the shrimp gravy. Okay. Mix this up. Okay. Perfect consistency. Alright, and we're going to add a little bit of grits to here. Nice. Okay, and then we're going to add some shrimp. Alright. Alright, and then we're going to add a little sauce. Alright, and there we go. Shrimp and grits. Alright, last but not least, we have our bowl plated. We're going to garnish with a little green onion. Okay, and a little smoked paprika. And voila, shrimp and grits.